Welcome to the Lone Star Play Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Scott Armstrong. The Lone Star Play Podcast is produced by TexasRealFood.com. Basically a website with a comprehensive directory of Texas businesses that are offering organic, all-natural, artisanal products. It's also got recipes and videos and just a lot of different resources, articles, blogs, just a whole encompassing sort of environment of all natural, organic, healthy, good stuff for you. And it's all Texas. Okay. So TexasRealFood.com. It's also where you can find the podcast. You can go to TexasRealFood.com/podcast, or you can go to thelonestarplate.com, and that will forward you there. You can also find the podcast on Apple, Spotify. You can even tell Alexa to play the podcast. You can just say, "Hey, Alexa, play the Lone Star Plate podcast," and she'll play the podcast. And on YouTube, because I'm looking, we're also doing this on video. So check us out on YouTube. Go to the Texas Real Food YouTube channel. All right. We have a musical guest today. Very excited. Never met this guy, but super excited to meet him. His name is Joe James. And he was actually tried out for The Voice. And there's a cool video of him that The Voice released of him trying out. And people had a lot of good things to say about him. So we're going to talk to him about that. I was on season 17 and talk to him about that experience, and just going to talk to him about his music. He does like blues, basically. It's amazing. He's got a great song out right now. It's in the top 10 of iTunes blues music right now. So it's in the top 10. It's a great song. It's called Love Right Now, and look it up. It's amazing. You can check out his website, joejamesmusic.com. Look him up on social media, Joe James. So, all right. So let's get Joe in here and, talk about his music and talk about everything he's doing. Very excited to have him on. And he might even play a couple tunes if we're lucky. So I got my glasses on. I'm ready to get all bluesy, and got my coffee. Let's do this, guys.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, look at this guy. Look at a rock star over here.
Man, I was like so deep into my phone.
I love it. I could tell if the screen was frozen. That's a good trick to play on people. Just like, you just find a random pose and you just like, I do that to, people on FaceTime. They'll just screw with
Awesome, man. Well, how are you? Thank you for having me on this.
Absolutely, dude. Thanks for reaching out and wanting to come on, man. I'm so glad that I ran into your music. I had never heard of your music before, and this is what I love about life in particular, but also even just what's happening right now, with so many people getting out and doing all these different things. All of a sudden I'm turned on to all this new stuff, and saw you on Ray Prim's whatever he's got going on, right, Monday through Friday, a little show that he presents local artists, I guess, that he likes and whatnot, man. And you got some amazing stuff, dude. I was like, holy shit. How are you not on every radio in the world right now, dude? Like, it's,
Thank you, man.
My God, bro.
Thanks.
Then I saw that shit on The Voice too. I saw you
cool,
you had on The Voice, your song, I saw a video you did, Midnight Dealin'. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Midnight Dealin', and then you got that song Love Right Now, which is crushing on iTunes. It's an amazing song, dude. I've been singing that song in my head, dude, for days. Like, no shit, it just keeps that melody. I don't know the lyrics because I'm real bad with lyrics. I don't know if you're one of those guys. I'm a guy on the radio. I hear a song on the radio. I where were you while we were eating pie? That's what I thought they sang in that Oasis song Forever. I didn't know. So the same thing when I hear your song. I don't know what I mean. I obviously Love Right Now, but just the melody, dude. It is, bro.
Man, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear that it's catchy enough.
Oh, for sure. It resonates with a lot of people, I'm sure. Have you been writing that song a long time? Was that one of those songs that just came to you in 5 minutes? Were you writing it for months?
So that song in particular, because I'm releasing an EP in June.
Nice.
And it'll have this song and the second single that's coming out May 15th. It'll have those on it. But this song in particular was one of those that like really quick like fell out of the sky, and It's super simple. Musically, it's very simple, but that's what I wanted for this project in particular, is to be very simplistic music wise. And I didn't want to get too technical, which we could get super funky. Like Midnight Dylan had some cool things in it. But for this, I wanted people to feel it more than just hear it. So
Oh, I like that.
yeah, man, I wanted them to feel um, the words and the passion behind the song. So that's every song on this new EP is that. Like I've been telling friends, I've never sat down uh, and listened to my own music and got like teary eyed. You know,
Wow.
I got, and
Wow.
which is weird for me, and it has a lot to do with the what the EP is about, and
Yeah.
what drove what inspired this whole thing. So that's one of the reasons, but also you could feel that I meant everything
Yeah.
that I said, and it was like that type of thing where
Yeah.
I didn't sing it just to be like, oh man, when everyone hears this is what they're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
like.
Totally.
No, like it was not like I
Sure.
didn't give a shit what anyone thought. I was like, these are my emotions. This is how I'm feeling, and like with that song just fell out of the sky. Like, but there was some of them that I worked a while on, but that one, Love Right Now, was just one that
Those are the
my
best
wife.
songs, right? That just
Right,
kind of
yeah. Yeah, the ones that
come
just
together.
happen, man.
Yeah.
And she said those specific words, like, we won't, she always says, like, when I die, I don't want people that I never knew to be coming up to me and saying, like, oh, I love Chelsea so much. And she was
Yeah.
like people should be showing the love they have for others, like now, because we aren't going to need it when we're dead. We're not
Yeah.
going to need it when we're gone, or not even
Yeah.
dead, but like when we're out of your life, we won't need it anymore. And so it's like, if you love somebody and you have that passion for someone, a friend or a family member or your significant other, like show it every day, show it like it's the last day, like live like it's every day, like it's your last day, like we only have one life,
Yeah.
like spread that love.
I like that. I like that. I've heard that before about people, sort of having that same sort of thought in the sense of like their funeral. They don't want it to be like, they want it to be a party, right? A celebration. But I see what you're saying. That's what happens though, man. Life is, sometimes we forget what
Right.
life is actually about. And we get caught in the day-to-day routine. Well, I'll call them next week. I'll respond this time. We'll go visit them next time. This, that, and the other, and things get
Yep.
pushed back. And you're right. We don't look at the love right now and appreciate people in the moment. I think this is another occasion, what's happening right now globally, to make us
Yep.
stop. The song couldn't be more appropriate. In the climate right now, exactly that. Stop everything. Love right now.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Like, get FaceTime your grandma and grandpa, or, your friend that you haven't talked to, that, were best friends in high school growing up, and you guys just, lost track or time, or just, like
sure.
that type of thing. It's like, this is the perfect time. It's almost like the universe like set up a reset button for everybody. Like,
Yeah.
get your shit together, get your priorities right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though it completely sucks, especially for us musicians. Like, it's like it does suck, but I started reflecting inward with this whole thing. Like, what can I do to help, and writing songs from a different place now. Like, and I started, my priorities shifted obviously, and went more into the marketing and writing songs and releasing this music, and I have a lot more time to focus on the release of this of the upcoming project. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing, because I mean, if I were playing a million gigs every night, I have the focus I do now. So it worked
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
for the good. But I will say, man, I miss live shows. Good Lord.
Oh, I bet,
I want
dude. That energy, right? That live energy, you can't replace it. You just
Oh,
can't.
not a chance. Not a chance. And I'm so appreciative and like thankful for the live stream thing, that we're able to even do that, and that
Sure.
people are, you know, they're watching, and they're starting the watch parties, and they're tipping, and like, that's awesome, man. But
It
I just
really is.
want to be there with them.
Yeah,
You know what I
trust me.
mean?
And they want you to be there, and they want to be there watching you. So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's like, yeah, and it's like, yeah, we're both feeling that same thing. There's like, I'm glad there is a connection, but there's also this small little disconnect as well, because you're like, it's just you and a ring light and a, you know,
Yeah.
and
That's
and you
funny.
know,
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
dark on the computer. It's like, you know, it's weird, and it's weird to get adapted to. I mean, I started when we first did it. I did a live stream with a full band before I had to stop, you know, that whole thing. And it was just like, I was starting to forget about the ring light and the camera, and just like build off the camaraderie of the musicians, you
Yeah. In
know,
the moment.
us.
Yeah,
And
totally.
then now it's just like me in there, and I'm like, okay, how do we do this? But no,
Yeah.
it's working out, man. And the support from everybody, especially the Austin community, like, that's why I fell in love with Austin when I first came here. Like, the community is so cool, man. Like, everyone's supportive, everyone's great, and you know, and they let you feel that love, you know. Even now, like with the virtual, it's all virtual, like you could still feel it, you know, people
Yeah.
tipping, saying these things and talking to you in the comments and whatever. It's like, it's cool. I just can't wait to get back there,
Oh, yeah.
live and in a
Yes.
room with
Yes.
everyone, you know.
You know, you know, well, what do you think about this? Like, even though, let's say they open the doors tomorrow. Let's say they just,
Right.
you know, even though we both know they extended everything till May 8th or whatever. But let's just say, for instance, hypothetically, they opened everything back up. Do you really think people are going to be jumping like to get back into everything, or do you think it's going to take a little bit of time for
No,
people to sort of, you
I
know?
think it's going to take time. I think people are going to be super cautious. You can see it now, you know.
Yeah.
um, I think it's going to take a little bit before people gather in, you know, together in a small room or venue, or at a festival, or whatever it may be. I think it's going to be a minute, you know,
Yeah.
before. I know for me, I'm when it's lifted, I'm not going to, you know, go to Coachella if Coachella is happening that day. You know, I'm like, not happening. Or
Yeah.
ACL, you know, if it was happening the very next day, I'm like, I'm not going to do that. You know,
Yeah.
which is understandable.
Yeah.
But dude,
Yeah.
it's a weird time. Like, this is crazy. Like, what we're living in this time. I just wish there was, like, I was telling my wife, I wish there was like zombies and stuff, so we could actually go out and do something. Like, have an axe and like
Totally,
shoot it.
dude. I started watching this show called Z Nation, which I would have never ever started before, but for some reason I just feel like watching apocalypse shit. So I've been watching the show called Z Nation. I'm thinking the exact same thing you. I want a badass bat that's outfitted with hooks on it and spikes, and you know, some sort of cool outfit that's rugged but sophisticated, you know what I mean? You know, couple disciples, and just, you know, Mad Max it, right? Like, I'm with you, dude.
Exactly.
Like Zombieland
I,
style.
exactly. That's what I was thinking, man. I'm like, instead of being like cooped up in your house, couldn't we be fighting like the virus with a bat with barbed wire and like
Yeah.
a silencer gun or something? I don't know.
Totally, totally, man. It's let's just good God, dude. Honestly, my mind kind of, you know, you talk to people, you think, well, that could never happen. I don't know if I'll ever say that could never happen ever again in my life, because at this point, I've been saying that for months. That can never happen. That'll never happen. They'll never cancel South by. They'll never shut down the country. Like, what? They'll never do. Everything's been happening that I kept saying that'll never happen. So at this
Dude,
point, there could be zombies by August. You know, I don't like know. Like, I'll be
man,
ready though.
yeah, I'm sorry everybody, but I hope so. I
Yeah,
hope so.
yeah.
Because I'm freaking
Totally.
bored, man.
Yeah, I love it. Dude, your thing would have to be, your guitar would have to become a weapon of some sort. You know, you can play it and it's a weapon. Like, I don't know how
Hey,
you would
isn't
do
there a
it.
movie? Isn't there like a movie where there is a movie, I can't think of it, where they they bring a guitar case in, they open it up, and it's
Oh,
like a
Desperado.
Desperado. Exactly. Yeah.
Fuck yes,
Like that's so
exactly,
good. I
dog.
just
Fucking
carry like I just carry like a guitar case around. It has like machetes and like
yeah,
and all that
totally.
stuff in it.
Yes, 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 dude.
So
You
cool.
gotta, dude. This would be hilarious. What about a TV show that was about a band that stayed together and still tried to tour during the apocalypse and played shows places? And you followed they were called, I don't even know, the Z band or something. I don't know, the zombie band. I don't know what
Right.
you would call them, the undead.
Uh,
You know, that would be kind of hilarious. Like follow them on their struggles while they kill people, but then also play gigs. You
right.
know, like
Dude, I would totally watch that.
can you imagine trying to bask during the apocalypse? Like
Exactly. Like with the zombies too. Like
totally. That
trying
would
to
be
get some a tip in your bucket, and you got
yeah.
asshole trying to eat your brains. Like
Yeah. Oh shit, dude. Yeah, man. This is
it's
crazy.
almost like it's. I mean, that's Sixth Street, right?
Yeah. It kind of is that way, man, to be honest with you. You know, it's so funny because some people you talk to don't they don't really act like anything's going on. They're just like, well, I'm still doing what I'm doing. I'm going here, I'm going there, I'm doing whatever the fuck I want. I feel like
Yeah.
that's few and far between as the days go by, but there's definitely still people just acting like no big deal. This is
Dude, there's
no.
totally people. I see it. I mean, even we'll get out and we'll drive just, to get the heck out of the house and
Yeah.
not go anywhere or get out. We just like drive around. And yeah, there's still people all over the place getting out, no mask, no nothing, just
Yeah.
doing their normal routine. And man, I would advise those people to please, for the love of God, stay inside so we can get it over with,
That's the
so
thing,
we can all
exactly.
get back to our normal lives.
Yes, we're all ready to. No, nobody likes being quarantined at home, except maybe hermits, and
Right.
introverts that are like, "This is the greatest thing ever."
They're like, yeah,
Yeah, they're just like, "Oh,
celebrating it.
sweet," you know. Uh, you know, but honestly, this is a weird thought I just had. But what about people that are fucking like being held hostage or kidnapped in somebody's basement? You know what I mean? They're fucked right now. It's
Oh my
like
gosh,
they
yeah,
are fucked. They were already fucked, but now they're even more fucked. It's
yeah, because
like
dude's not going to the store. He's quarantining right now. He's
yeah,
home.
they're just like, ain't nobody hearing your screams for sure now, dude. All I can think is
Yeah.
that movie Prisoners. It's
Oh
just like,
yeah,
same thing, like,
it's a fun
woo.
little fact, man. Like I'm into all those types of movies, even like crazy horror movies too. I have
Yeah,
upstairs. I have a whole closet just full of like DVDs of Dawn
you
of the
got
Dead.
DVDs?
They're
Holy
all on
shit!
kids. Those are these little discs,
Yeah.
not frisbees. Like, what the hell are
Totally.
frisbees?
Totally, dude. I come from VHS Betamax days, to be honest
Hey, I
with you.
caught the tail end of that, man.
Yeah,
Like, I remember having all my Disney movies on VHS,
yeah.
Lion King,
I still
Aladdin.
have a ton of VHS, like because I had a whole collection when I was born in '79, right at the tail end of '79. So that was definitely my childhood was the '80s, and I
Yeah,
definitely had every fucking movie on record, or every album on record and every movie on VHS that I could get. Cassettes, I did move to cassettes as quickly as I could because you couldn't take records with you down the street. So I was like, I loved cassettes when they came
right.
out. I was
Yeah,
all
man. And
about it.
like, and I think those were like the glory days, though. I
Uh-oh.
remember I like caught the tail.
Walkman, right? Like, did you
I
ever have
had a
a Walkman?
Walkman, yeah,
Yeah.
with a CD. Like, I had the CD deal. I felt like those were. I mean, I'm so thankful for technology and what it's done, like for
Sure.
my career. Like that's awesome, and I definitely am happy and thankful for that. But I remember those were just simpler times. Had so much fun. Like, got out of the house, rode your bike, scraped your knees, like you
Yeah.
know,
It was a different
going
time, man.
to the store to buy a cassette,
Yeah,
like
totally.
or a CD. Like the CD, I remember I bought. I was super into metal one time, and I still am. I love
Yeah.
metal, but I was like a serious metalhead. Uh, you'd never know. But I went and I bought, what was it? I think like Slipknot, Iowa, or one of their crazy albums. And I just remember the joy of like going to like the record store
Yeah.
and like Tower Records or something,
Yeah.
and going in there looking for
Totally.
that CD and or album or whatever, and you find it, and you're like, yes, and like
Yeah.
buy it. There's nothing like that. Like it's so not. It is totally not like that. Going on iTunes and downloading it. Like
Yeah,
it's just not.
you get it instantaneous. Like you had to drive that album home, get it home, rip it open, take the plastic, and then you're also reading. I don't know about you, but I used to take out
All the time.
the inserts and read, any notes the band left, the lyrics, who produced who's writing the song, all that shit. I wanted to know all the details, any extra pictures they would have in there. Yeah, dude, I'm with you, dude. Like,
Yeah, it was
those were the days.
so much. There's so much. It was so mysterious,
Yeah.
which I feel like now everything's just so accessible. Like
Yeah.
then it was so mysterious. Like what was true? What are they doing behind the scenes? Like
Yeah, totally.
Even before they come out on stage, are they like flying in on their spaceship? Like,
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point. There was more mystery to the artist, and you didn't really know much more behind them so much. You just knew what you saw on MTV or the magazine cover or whatever the fuck they wanted you to see. That's all you saw.
Right.
And now, now you got their Instagram. Now you can see homeboy buying bread and singing your favorite song. Like,
exactly. And that was like not an option with the Beatles, with Zeppelin. Like,
totally. Can you imagine if fucking Beatles had Instagram? Like, this crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Just like eating chips backstage. Like no one, like people would be like, what the hell? Like there wouldn't be the iconic gods that they are, It's like if we would have saw that side of them, they would not have the success that they did.
But it totally did. It's honestly, man, like I grew up, internet for me came a part of my life like as an adult. So we barely had internet in high school. I mean, it was for rich kids really, and if you had it, it was super slow. You didn't really use it for anything. It's not like you used it for school. So, I mean, I grew up pagers and cassette tapes, dude. Like just a different time, and even then before me, different time. But there was something about it, dude. You knew people's phone number back then. You just knew things, and it was different. There was less option, and the less things about it. You loved everything individually more. But now, what I appreciate is there's more options. There's more availability. Now you can hear artists from all over the world, a gazillion artists. There's a million things to listen to, and that is great. But at the same time, it can be diluted and you can miss out on a lot of stuff, and you move on very quickly from things. I mean, I remember back in those days, you would listen to the same album forever. You would rock it. That doesn't really happen now. You got playlists, you're mixing it around. You know how long it took to make a mixtape back in those days? You would spend 3 or 4 days. Like it was, you'd have to listen on the radio and wait till the DJ fucking finished talking, first of all, to get that intro to the song, and then end it. And you'd have to wait all night for the song to come, just to get it that way. Like, it's just, I mean, and where's radio now?
Exactly. I know. And all the things you're talking about, like I used to do.
It's crazy.
I used to do that. I had to like my boombox or whatever, and I would wait until that song came on, and like a Sublime song or something.
Yeah,
I'm like,
totally.
And then I'd catch like the DJ talking, and I'm like, oh, damn it.
Yeah, you would be pissed at the DJ for fucking talking over that shit.
Like, just shut up, man. I'm trying to record this song.
Totally.
But no, it's so crazy, man. Like I remember, and I'm so glad I came in like I said at the tail end of everything. I was born in '88.
Yeah.
And like we were still, there's cassettes, CDs started coming around, but we would still go out, and like my dad even had, I think his friend gave him a bunch of records, and I pulled out Houses of the Holy by Zeppelin. And we had a record, we still had a record player, and I like put that on, and I would listen to that, and I learned like Over the Hills and and I sat there for like hours, like playing it and like putting the needle back on that area.
Oh, that's awesome. When did you learn to play guitar? When did you start? When did you pick that up?
I actually picked that up when I was 13 years old. So I started playing bass when I was 8 years old.
Oh,
Um,
Jesus. Wow.
yeah, my dad's a bass player, so I wanted to be just like him, and basses were all over the house.
Yeah.
So I was, I'd pick him up, and he would show me some stuff, and I fell in love with bass guitar. But then he would have like band rehearsals at the studio, and so I would I started falling in love with the drums because it was like,
You
you
like
get to
that.
hit
Yeah.
stuff, like, and so I started playing drums at the age of 10, and then guitar
Wow.
was my
Jesus,
last
dude.
instrument. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. Fucking hell. That's
So,
crazy.
in fact, is I played the bass, guitar, and the drums on this new project. So what you're hearing on Love Right Now is
Really? You're playing all the no shit. Jesus,
Mhm.
dude.
The only
Holy.
thing I didn't play was the keys. I
Yeah.
didn't play the keys. Yeah,
Wow.
because I
Holy
wish I
cow.
knew how to play the keys, man.
I mean, that's
But
just another animal, right? Even if you kind of know how to play the keys, you still would rather bring someone in that knows how to slay the keys, you know?
right, yeah, because
Um,
I know chords. Like I could get by with the chords. I know
sure.
my chords, but like, yeah, you need someone to come in with that B3 and the Rhodes, and just like,
Yeah, dude. The
like really
beginning to
press.
Love Right Now, dog, just with the keys right coming in, right? Did you I'm guessing that you maybe tried different ways to begin that song,
Oh, sure. I
right?
started with guitar,
Yeah.
just like which I do for acoustic stuff,
Yeah.
because I have to. But we started it just just like a,
Yeah.
which was cool. Um,
Sure.
but we kind of like, weighed out the two, and I'm like, man, the Rhodes on that just sounds way. It's
It
like, you
is
know,
tight as fuck, dude. Like it sounds so good when it comes in like that with your voice. But I remember the very first time I heard it, I thought, oh yeah, I guarantee you he tried that different ways until that one just hit and he was like, oh, that's it. That's money right there.
totally. We
Like,
even tried coming in, having everybody come in, or having the full band, like
yeah.
full. I say everybody, and I'm
Yeah.
blanking everybody. All
Yeah. All
myself
right,
on it.
Joe, you ready? I'm ready, Joe. You ready, Joe? Okay, cool. Let's do this, guys.
um,
Yeah.
but we tried that, and it was like my buddy Sean. By the way, I gotta give a shout out to him, because he's the guy that did the keys, and he brought the songs to life, man.
Yeah.
Because before that, they were there, but he just like put all these different colors in it, and
Yeah.
man, he brought them to life. So thank you, Sean. Um, but yeah, we tried coming in, just like drums right away. You're feeling
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
and we just tried a whole bunch of versions, and that was the one that stuck, because
Yeah.
I felt like, to come into that second verse,
Yeah. It's
everybody,
the build up, dude.
right.
It's beautiful.
I
No,
felt
it's
that we accomplished that with the just the climbing of everything with that song. And production wise, I always love that type of stuff anyway. I love how the Beatles would, how George Martin always did that with the Beatles, and
yeah.
there's always
Where
this
did you
avenue.
record where did you record that song or all these songs, I guess?
I recorded everything at my house.
Really?
Um, yeah,
Damn, dude, you're getting some great sounds. Even your vocals?
all my vocals. And but I had my buddy Benjamin Levy. He mixed everything,
Yeah, of course.
so
It makes a
he
big
has
difference.
yeah. It's like I yeah, can't take a lot of credit.
Yeah.
He was he made it sound really good.
Yeah.
I just mic'd it up, and I was like, this sounds pretty cool. And
Yeah.
then and then he made it sound, way cool. So him, and then Charlie Kramsky mastered the whole thing. So if
Yeah.
I didn't have that team, I mean, I know, that thing, like you you pay people, the people that know what they're doing, you pay them to do their job because they're great at
Yeah.
how to do it. So I'm not good at mixing, not good at mastering. I know my mic placements. I could do that. But yeah, I was like,
You're not supposed to know that. You know what I
I
mean?
know.
You don't waste your time on that shit. Write a new
No,
song. You know what I mean? Write a new song.
right,
That's
exactly.
like, yeah.
And so that's why I was like, man, I was going to dive in because I'm like, because with these songs and with this new project and this EP coming out in June, I wanted it to be so personal that in my mind when I first started it, I'm like, I'm gonna learn keys, I'm gonna learn how to and I won't learn how to master because that's just gonna take too much time. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna learn these things so it could be so personal. And so the keys thing got thrown out the window really quick. I'm like, you know what, Sean, my friend Sean Giddings is just going to kill this, and I'd be an idiot not to have him play on these
Totally.
songs.
Totally.
So he brought him in, and then my buddy, I tried mixing, and every mix I just thought was a piece of shit. So I was like, I don't know how to mix. I was like even taking classes and I'm like, I don't have time for this. I want to write songs. I just want to record them and then give them to somebody.
Exactly, dude. It doesn't make it any less personal for you to outsource those
Right.
things. It really doesn't.
And that's what I found out. I started searching for people. I would give them the project and what it was about, and I would see how the reaction before I agreed with. Because I mean, I could have given the money because we raised funds for this project. I could have given like that money to anybody,
Got
to the
you.
best producer, best studio, best whatever in town. But for me, I wanted people on board that understood the vision of this. So
they invest in it, right? You wanted
right,
them to invest emotionally in
exactly, because I'm definitely they're going to get paid what they're worth, and I believe everybody should. But I was like, I'm not just going to give someone that just wants the money and is going to do whatever. And so I would pitch this to them and see their reaction, because I pitched it to a few other. Sean Giddings was like in the bag right away. He's a good friend and he's like always excited about everything that I'm doing. So, and he's like, he's one of the best. But like when looking for mixing and mastering and stuff like that, I just wanted to hear like their reaction, the response. If it was first like, yeah, cool, that sounds great, I charge this much an hour, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to use that guy. And then like I'd keep doing it until, because I have a bunch of friends in the in the music industry, so I'm like talking to all my buddies, and no hate towards them, they're just trying to make a living too. But like for this specific project, that's how I wanted it.
Absolutely.
And so I found the guys that were like, dude, this is amazing what you're doing. This is, to get that message out there. I'm totally on board. Let's meet up and talk about it. Tell me more. And I was like, okay, that's
these are the guys you want. Yeah, totally, dude. Absolutely.
Those are the guys. Yeah, because it's such a special.
What you said, there's a big inspiration behind this project. What is that inspiration?
Right. So my wife was diagnosed in 2013 with UC. It's called it's ulcerative colitis. It's an autoimmune disease.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. But it's an IBD, inflammatory bowel disease as well. So she battles with that. There's like 3.1 million people in the USA that battle with this, and it's one of those things, they call it like the invisible disease, because they look fine on the outside, but on the inside they're just like
hurting.
Yeah, exactly. And so this past September, she fell super ill with the disease, a bunch of ER trips, and and she lost about 24 pounds, 25 pounds. She doesn't have that to lose.
Yeah.
She couldn't get out of bed. And that's not my wife, man. She's a go-getter, and she hates having to just lay there. She likes to work. She likes to do her thing. And so it's that whole month of September, I kind of reflected on like our love and the trial we were going through, and how far we've come, and like and then once we got over that whole thing and she started the road to recovery, it was almost like this all these songs of like love and pain and defeat and triumph and like what we were going through during that time and after that time, and reflecting on, because we've been together for 15 years. So like we started I
Wow.
started reflecting on all of those years too, like, you
Yeah.
know, and so I started writing these songs uh and that's kind of how like it all came about. And I was just jotting them down. I didn't want to have I didn't think of having an EP or releasing anything. I was just like writing my feelings down, you know,
Yeah.
and which usually a lot of the time there I start with a guitar, I start with a riff, but this time it was lyrically. I was just writing, you know, memories down, feelings down, uh, you know, and stuff like that. So eventually, after she got well and we started getting some treatments and she started, you know, she was better, thankfully. I started thinking about maybe I could use this project to bring awareness to Crohn's and colitis, and kind of work hand in hand with them and like release this music in this message and kind of get that out into the world, because it's it's spawned from, you know, inspiration by her and who she is and kind of honoring her, but also bringing awareness to this disease
Yeah.
called Crohn's and colitis, and also just to people who are maybe battling that, like, you know, a depression, or the, you know, just letting them know with these songs that, you know, there's, you can get through it. Like
Yeah.
there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a silver. You just have to fight. And there's people. Surround yourself with people. For my wife, it was me that will care for you, that will be there for you, that will uplift you, and she did that for me as well, because I battle with, you know, depression and stuff like that as well. And so I want that message to get out into the world, like to bring awareness to Crohn's and colitis. Also let people, all the underdogs, know like, hey, these are your songs. These are, you know, this EP is your EP. Put it on and listen to it and let the words, you know, speak to you during a time that you're not feeling too well, or, you know, you're not wanting to press on in life. Like, listen to these songs.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. You know, because look, you're going to write the songs anyway, right? You're going to write
Right.
music anyway. So it might as
Right.
well have such a powerful message behind it. And I actually, to be honest with you, dude, this is very responsible of you as a songwriter, because again, you could just write, you know, love in the sky, you know, hi goodbye, you know, whatever
Yeah.
bullshit. But instead, you know, you decide, you know what, I'm going to make a difference with this music and try to help people at the same time. So I think that's awesome, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah. And that was the thing too, is when we got out of the cloud and I'm like, you know what, I want to bring awareness. I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, us as artists and creatives, like we have a platform where people listen and they want, you know, they want to hear and they want to be a part of the things we do. Like, why don't we, you know, why don't we have a message? I think not all the time should we have a
Of
message. We got stuff
course,
for
music is everything. You know,
right, exactly,
it's everything. Yeah,
exactly. But I think there are those times where maybe, yeah, uh you should use this platform to you know, to put a message out there that you strongly believe in, or that
sure.
is affecting you personally, and you think it could help others. Like, why not, man? Like, it's a perfect
Absolutely.
platform.
I mean, that's what music, people use music to heal wounds, right? To feel
Right,
better, to escape, to let loose. You know,
right.
people use music for everything, you know, so it absolutely is, it can be a tool to help somebody move forward or cope or get through a tough time. I mean, there's probably not a person on the planet that you couldn't talk to of like, you know, oh, you broke up with somebody. What was the music that got you through it? Because you know there's going to be something. Oh, I listened to this
Totally.
album. You know, that fucking, you know, homeboy got me through this, or this band got me through that. You know, it's
Right.
crazy what music can do for you. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's a universal language, man. I mean, it's personally, it's gotten me through some dark times, you know, and I want to be that for people too. You know,
That's awesome.
I want to put that message out into the world and have my music speak to people and heal people and get people through, like music has done for me, you know.
That's
So
awesome.
this is like, I mean, I have two other EPs, but I feel like this is the one where I'm like, okay, this is who I am and this is who I want to be as an artist, and this is the type of stuff I want to do, and you
Yeah.
know, the type of music I want to make. I feel like I've come uh, to find who I am as an artist. I'm glad it's this project, you
Yeah.
know, with this message. Glad this is like, I feel like this is the, like, welcome to the show, you know, Joe James
This is it.
EP. Yeah,
Yeah. Introduction
yeah.
to Joe James, right? Yeah.
This is the intro. Yeah, this is the introduction. Like I feel that this is the one. This is the introduction to who I am, and this is what to expect, like from here on out. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like the other two, of course, you know, finding myself, and they were great, and I had a good time, and they're great songs. But I feel like music for me, when I release something, I really need to be 100 and a million and songs, and those are the best EPs and albums. The artist has completely poured themselves, um, you know, into the song.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. Of
those are the
course.
best because you could feel it. And that's my thing, and that's always going to be my thing from here on out. Is I want people to feel my music.
Yeah,
Like,
that's awesome. I love that, dude. And you can, man. You can. Every song I've heard of yours has passion behind it. I can just tell you've put a lot of thought and time and energy into the songs when I hear them. And I as a listener appreciate that because it's
thanks, man.
genuine. It's there's nothing better. Well, most people, not everybody, but most people can appreciate someone being what's the word I'm looking for? Like sincere.
Mm-hmm.
You can just tell when someone's legitimately thinks what they're saying or singing about. You know,
Yeah,
you can just tell. And when it's not sincere or genuine, it doesn't work. You know, like Milli Vanilli, right? It doesn't work.
right.
You can't fake it. I mean, it only goes for so long. I mean, boy bands, right? Like even though I love some of those songs because there's some great tunes written there, but there's really no emotion behind because someone else wrote that. They're bringing it. It's for a different purpose, right? So those type of music and that type of songs, even though there's a place for it, it's not. There's nothing genuine or sincere about it. To be honest with you, um,
No, I totally feel it, man.
you
And
know,
that's the type of, I mean, I want to listen to that music that is genuine. People
yeah,
that aren't trying to be something they're not.
yeah.
Like I like I like that. And I think it, for my first EP, it was self-titled, and Midnight Dealin', which I loved. I think Midnight Dealin' was super funky and it
Oh,
was
dude,
cool,
that
but
song is so fucking good, dude. The video's great too, by the way.
thanks, man.
Killer
That was
video.
me trying to act.
Dude, you did great. Like I didn't know who you were. Right? Like think about it this way. I had no idea who you were. That's literally my first impression of you was seeing that. I thought you're a star. I really that's you come across
Cool, man.
as confident. I'm rocking. You come across that way. So
Thanks,
if
man.
that's anything to you,
No, it is definitely.
it
But
seemed
yeah,
legitimate.
like with that stuff, I definitely I put everything, I put myself into everything, but I feel like it wasn't as much as like this
Yeah,
the
totally.
new songs. Like I
Yeah.
feel, even though Midnight Deal, and I felt like the groove and like some of the cool riffs, like fantastic riffs.
It's
I
so
was so
good.
proud of all of them. But I feel like my whole entire self was not
Yeah.
in it,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
with this new project. So
Totally.
I'm excited. I'm excited and very nervous with something like this. I'm being super vulnerable. So it's like I'm putting my heart and my complete whole heart and soul into a song,
Yeah.
like not hiding anything. Like this is what happens. This is how I felt. I cried when I was writing this. Like I had so much pain. I was angry when I was writing this. I was, you know, like that. I was joyful when I was writing this, and like I'm not holding back any of the emotions
Yeah.
for song. So I'm excited and nervous for people to hear the rest of it. But Love Right Now was very, very accepted, and that warmed both my wife and I, like warmed our hearts, man. We were just so excited that everyone just, they loved it and it spoke to them, and that's exactly what we wanted,
Yeah.
especially during the time, you know.
It's killer, dude. The way the song starts, the way the groove it's got, and I'm sure you've heard this comparison all the time. And I'm not saying you're him. I'm just saying the first artist I thought of when I heard you was Gavin DeGraw.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
You
of
know,
course.
it was the very first thing I heard, and because I fucking love that guy. Like I remember when he first came out back in the early 2000s. Um, you know, I used to live up in Philly at that time when he was big, so he would tour around that area a lot. So I actually used
Yeah.
to watch him live quite a bit. He was amazing, dude. But he had his. I used to think that guy had one of the greatest voices I ever heard, to be honest with you,
He
because
has a fantastic, and
dude,
his
yeah,
songwriting is amazing too,
they
man.
really are.
Yeah,
He's a great pianist too. I mean, just a great musician as
totally.
well. But um, that's when I heard you. That's what I thought. Passion. I can hear passion and energy, and there's a soul to the. You know, it's very bluesy. There's a soul. I mean, obviously those are the tunes, but
Yeah.
it's there. It's not fake. Like it's real, dude. You can.
I'm
It's
glad,
killer,
man.
dog.
That's good to hear. I mean, I'm glad you are picking up on that, because that's exactly what I want. I mean, I am putting like
Yeah.
me into
Yeah.
it.
But look, also don't be afraid of this, Joe. Like your job as an artist is just to put the music out and cut it off from there, dude. You can't
Right,
control how people take it. You cannot worry about that. You got to let
right,
it go, because yeah, some people are going to react like me, but other people might go, fuck that shit. That's the worst thing I ever heard. And that's okay. You can't please everybody.
right.
Now,
And
would I say that guy's a fucking idiot? Yeah, I would. I would say you're a fucking idiot, dude. You know, whatever. But that's not your job, right? Your energy
right,
should just go into creating more things. More
I
things.
agree.
That's why I tell chefs. You know, I was a chef for a long time and cooked for a long time. Like you can't get attached to the food. Yes, I'm glad that you'll come and tell me what an amazing dish. I loved it. Blah blah blah. But at the same time, I really don't care if
Right,
I could be frank with you, because I'm not waiting for that. I'm moved on. So I
right.
made it. I gave you my best. If you like it or not, I can't control that. So
Exactly.
I let it go, and you enjoy it. You decide what it is to you, and I'm done.
That's great advice, man. I mean, and it's hard
I know.
advice,
I
because like you
know.
want to be like, you know, it's true. It's the absolute truth, and the truth hurts sometimes. But
Yeah.
yet sometimes because you're so emotionally attached
Yeah.
to all of it, you know, it's hard to put it in the world and then just go, okay,
Yeah.
like
It
it's out
is.
there. If you like, if you hate it, whatever. Like
Yeah.
I think I learned that on The Voice, and that was, you know, just that wasn't too long ago. I learned that you you did what you did. Some people are gonna love you. Some people are gonna write some kind of funny but like nasty stuff on YouTube, you know.
Yeah.
And I actually, like, I went on you, and I probably shouldn't have done this, but
You looked at the comments.
I looked at the
I
comments.
would have too, bro. You were on The Voice, dog. You success, dog. No matter what anybody writes, that's a success to have just done that.
Right. And there, I mean, there was a mixture of like, there's obviously with anything, I think, but there was a mixture of awesome comments and then ones that were like super hateful, like mean.
What are some
There's
hateful ones? Come on. Let's just laugh at them. Fuck it.
okay. So I know I'm laughing, man. I loved it.
I love
There
that.
was one, what was it? Oh, okay. So I sang Lenny Kravitz in a,
Which you killed it,
Angel.
by the way. You really did great, dude. Like,
Thank
I
you,
was just
man.
blown away, dude. Like, how are you not nervous as fuck? Like,
Oh man, I was totally nervous, but I have to. There's a disclaimer. It's like, and I'm not going to go like completely in because of contracts and all that stuff, but I would have picked another song.
yeah.
That's all
Got
I'll
it.
say.
Got it.
You know,
Got it.
I would not have done
Yes.
that song.
Yes.
Anyway,
I got it. Well, they
but
probably got a books, music that's released that they can get releases for. Well, I don't even know. Who knows?
right,
But
yeah, there's
anyway,
a
yes.
I love The Voice. I love all those people. They were fantastic to me. The staff was great. The show, and they want to get Emmy awards
Yeah.
for TV reality TV shows.
Yeah.
So, but I loved every moment of it. It was cool. But yeah, so basically the comment was, unfortunately, it is over for Joe James.
Oh shit! I
I
love
thought,
it,
and I mean, I literally just thought that was the best. I think I
dude. Yeah.
commented on it because there was a whole bunch of other mean ones, like this, that. But I was like, okay, that was really good.
That was
So
funny. Yeah. That's
I comment on from my YouTube onto that, and I was like, I got to give it to you. That was really funny.
dude, that's really that makes me think you're really fucking cool, dude, because as a listener, as a fan, I would think, you know what, that's a guy that I want to support. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He can take the good with the bad and realize that those comments aren't anything. You know
Right?
what I mean? You don't know those fucking people. Like, they're gonna
No.
say stupid shit no matter what. Dude, people think The Godfather. There are people that think The Godfather sucks as a movie. There are people that think Picasso was a horrible artist. There are people
Right.
that think the earth is flat. I mean, we could go down the line here.
We go, yeah. And I
You
mean,
know,
my biggest thing, like there are people, and I'm a huge Beatle fan, and I've heard bunch of people tell me how much they hate the Beatles
oh
and
yeah,
how they're
there's people that
trash.
think they
And I'm like,
suck.
what are you talking about?
I agree.
But like, that's the taste. One
Yes.
has their preference, man. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
probably think I'm crazy for loving the Beatles, But yeah, that's the comment, man.
I think that's great.
Unfortunately, it is over for Joe James.
Oh shit! Honestly, man, like
That's so
knowing
funny.
my personality, that would have been the first thing I did was look for the negative comments because I love shit like that. Like I'm
Yeah.
all about roasting. I love getting roasted or roasting people. That's kind of how my friends and I are. We're always, pushing each
Yeah,
other's
man.
buttons if we can. It keeps you light on your toes and it makes sure you don't take yourself too seriously.
No,
That's
you
the key,
can't. Like
right?
that yeah, exactly. I mean, you you really can't. I think in like this industry too, we can't take ourselves too seriously. It's almost like when you get to a point, it's like the fans you, and like it's almost like they got this lump of clay and blew life into it, and then that lump of clay goes around like asking for blue M&Ms on the radar or rider, and they're like, it's like shut, you know what? Like it's calm down. It's
Totally,
like,
dude.
so yeah, you can't definitely like
Keeps you humble. You
like,
got to stay
yes,
humble. People can see
exactly.
that. People can see that, and that again leads to sincerity. It's all
Life's too
connected.
short for that, man. Like it's have a
Yeah,
good time, bust each other's balls, like
yeah, I
just
agree,
have laugh.
dude.
Seriously,
Look,
that's
you got some of the most amazing artists to say such amazing things about you, dude, and you got to sing for them like in person, and you sang it beautifully. Like I know for sure, me, oh my god, I would have fucking just shit bricks. Like I would have not handled that
dude.
well at all. And I heard what they said about you. I mean, it's just amazing. Let's see. Kelly Clarkson was on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's from Texas, so you got a Texas native, right? Which is awesome. John Legend. Who were the other judges?
Gwen Stefani and
Gwen Stefani,
Blake Shelton.
Blake Shelton, right? And they, what did they say? Let's just go real quick.
So they basically they chopped a lot of this stuff up because
Yeah.
I spent a little more time on that stage than what was televised.
Sure,
Um,
sure, that makes sense.
so I think they only aired what what Gwen said and what John said. Which John said I had, my voice was great, lovely to listen to. He just thought that the arrangement of the song, wasn't what he wanted to hear. And at that point, there's 4 days of audition, and on the fourth day, if you pick the short straw and you go on the fourth day, they've already got half of their teams filled by that time. So,
Yeah.
so you go up there, because who knows, if I went on the first day and sang that song, I probably might have gotten chair turns. But unfortunately, I was on the fourth day, and you know,
Dude, you
that's
made
what
it there, bro. You know what I mean? You made it, Pat. Dude, it's like
there's a lot of auditioning before that too, man.
absolutely. I can't
I
even
was there
imagine. How
for a
does that
whole
work?
entire
Yeah.
month.
How does that work?
There's a process. So you'll do casting auditions. Obviously, it's a show that you're trying to cast. Um, make it past that, you go to producer auditions, and then you're still kind of in a phase of you can still get eliminated. That
Yeah.
you have band rehearsals and wardrobe and makeup. They'll see how you work with all of that. If you get past that, then you start prepping for the blind audition. And so you have to you fly out for the producers, you fly back, and then they'll fly. If you make it past the producers, they'll fly you back out, and you have to spend a whole entire month there prepping and getting ready for the blind audition. So a lot of vocal rehearsals, and that's one of the things. There's two things I was very thankful for. Well, three. I was for the whole experience, because not a lot of people get to experience a show at that caliber.
Of course, dude.
And like
Absolutely.
it's like a well-oiled machine, man. It's super cool. But the people I met, that was a big thing for me, is like the friends and the artists and singers that I met that I'm still friends with. Like that was awesome. And also you have like these amazing coaches, and at your not the celebrity coaches, but like actual vocal coaches
Yeah.
uh
You're learning from them, right?
at your
Yeah.
dispense. Like you have them, like people that worked with Beyonce, and like
Fuck.
so you go and you ask them like, okay, I had trouble doing this, and like they're like, oh well, try this, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, now I can get into my mixed voice. I never could do that before.
That's
And so
awesome.
they're like, yeah, and try this trick and try that trick, and drink this when when your throat is dry, or
Yeah.
take a shot of olive oil, and like you lube your whole vocal cord. And I'm like, I would have never known any of this, And so that was really great to experience that. But like the whole thing, I was super thankful for it. God damn it, I forgot your original question was
No,
like,
that was
what did
basically it. You know
uh,
how just the process. This is all that's basically what I'm asking.
I know
You,
my
you
mind's
know.
like shooting a million miles an
Oh,
hour.
dude, it's yeah.
What they had some great things to say. Like I said, they cut up a lot of stuff, and Gwen Stefani was really nice, and she said, unfortunately, it's the last day. I only have one spot, and I totally would have picked you. Callie said the same thing. She said, but we already have someone that's similar to you on our team. And then John, they aired everything that John said. And Blake Shelton also said that he was like, I think these guys are crazy. Like your voice is great, you're awesome. But he didn't have any. He already picked,
Yeah.
everybody for his. So it was, and then I guess when they did another interview, he said that he loved my voice. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they were super cool. I only got to see them for that specific time. So
Yeah.
they try to hide you away so everything can be kind of genuine and special.
Sure.
When you see them, and it's
That's
almost kind of
cool.
nerve wracking,
Yeah.
and it's almost weird when they turn around and you're like,
Yeah.
almost like an alien spaceship just like turned around. You're like, oh, holy crap!
What's funny is they don't. What's funny about the concept is, so the idea is they just want to hear you, not see you. Okay, they could just close their eyes. What the hell is this whole? We got to get chairs and turn it around. I guess just cinematically, right? It
TV show,
looks
yeah.
cooler. It wouldn't just be like their eyes just pop open, like
Yeah, can you imagine if
dramatic.
they had like the things over their eyes to
The blindfold,
like,
yeah.
and then they're like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't be the same, right?
Just bags over their head and just pull the bag off. Yeah.
Oh, all right. And yeah, it totally wouldn't be the same. But I was, you were talking nervous. Those were serious nerves, man. Like right before those doors open, you go to walk on the stage.
Oh, I can't even imagine, dog.
I've
really
never felt that type of, you know how you watch like some of your favorite musicians and bands before they go and play in front of 25,000 people or whatever at Madison Square Garden or whatever, and you see them like breathing deeply and like jumping up and down, and I understand that because there's a certain thing that your body and your mind is feeling like of the importance of what you're about to do and how you're about, because there's 500 people in that audience and 4 huge A-list celebrities that are listening to you. And then your mind also goes, oh yeah, and millions of people are going to watch this.
Totally.
So you like get these nerves, and that now I understand like what they're feeling before you're about to, that's performance could ruin your career if you get up there and screw it up. Like the bands, like if Metallica got up and said something terrible, or Dixie Chicks, like they say something terrible in front of 25,000 people. I don't think it's terrible, but like they say something, that ruins their career. So it's like a scary thing. Like, I'm in front of 25,000 people. And that's like, what if I do something that's just going to like ruin me,
Yes.
And so it was so nerve-wracking, man. I was shaking, like,
I bet. Oh,
you're like, why am I shaking? Like, it's just the weirdest thing, man. And I talked to everyone, and they were like, yeah, wasn't that weird? Like, we all have played a million shows, like, and then the doors are about to open and your body just goes into, or they call you by the doors. They're like, oh, you're going to be going on. And like, so just stand right here. And these nerves just hit you, and they don't hit you until
it happens, right? Yeah. Oh, dude, I can't even imagine, bro. I mean, I really can't.
But it was kind of, I mean, thinking back, I love that feeling. I'd love to feel it again.
Of course. Are you allowed to try out again? How does that work?
I was asked to do it again for this season coming up, but I didn't want to. I have this project, and I have a lot of things that I want to focus on, and I feel like when I did it, I had so much momentum happening here in Austin, and was building my fans and friends and supporters that were coming to the show, and then I just went on a huge hiatus. And I felt like I did a lot of hard work before then, and of course it could have like, I
could catapult you, dog.
Right. But I'm like, I just want to focus on this, and because I didn't really care about it as much, and I wasn't super passionate about it as I am about like the Austin community and like, my music and like my actual music, not people writing for me. Like I'm just an independent artist, and so I want to really hone in and tap into that and build my brand how I want to build it, not how somebody from Universal Music Group wants to build it.
Well, dude, you can do it your own. To think of like so a good example that I use for other artists is like Bob Schneider, and Bob's been on this podcast actually. And Bob is all independent, man. He's his own record label. He's been releasing his own stuff. It's all Bob. For years. I mean, we're talking 20 years he's been doing that.
And that's I think that's the best way to go, and that's the way the music industry is moving. It's moving towards that.
You can be your own. You have your own YouTube channel, your own shit. You don't need anybody, right? Like, essentially.
Right. And that's the thing is, I mean, and I've just started getting into this mindset, and I don't care. There's a secret to but I don't mind telling everyone, like, artists that are coming up, talented people, that you have to approach it if you want to get to Bob's status, or people like that. You have to approach this as a business and as a brand, and build it and capitalize on that, and learn the business side of everything, as well as hone your craft. I mean, you could hone that, but also like learn the business of it all, and approach it like a business if you want to build your career.
Absolutely.
It's important. I think that's
smart.
Overlooked so much. It totally gets overlooked, man. Like, learn. And also, I say this all the time, you're going to have to spend a lot of time and a lot of money on this it's not just going to happen because you're like, oh man, like my new single just dropped. Everybody go listen to it. It's like, no, hire PR and have them put it on like American Song and have them like, you know, have your thing go to, because I can promise you right now, this is not just me. There's a team that I don't have the ability to do that. So, and I know people have the talent and ability and to do things like that. So you hire those people to do those things. So for me, I don't know PR in marketing. So I, you know, spent the money and have the money, but I'll get a credit card or I'll try to raise funds because I'm passionate and I believe in this art. So I wanted it to be heard and I want the message to get out there. So I hired people that can help me do that, you know. And I think
Absolutely. That's
lot of
smart.
time, a lot of times people the artists just want to drop their single. My single's coming like a week before. My single comes out, you know, April 10th. Everybody go download it. It's going to go to #1. It's like, no, it's not. It's not going to go to #1, dude. It's not going to go to #1. And so like, I was like, for me, I was completely shocked to have charted got to top 10.
Totally, dude. How crazy is that?
Dude, that was like, that shocked me, but it was of course the music, but I had to hire people and like, you know,
It was everything together. It was a great song. They had something good to work with, right? You gave them something good to work with. It's that simple.
Exactly. Like you couldn't record into your iPhone and send it to them and they'd be like, oh yeah, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You know,
top 10. This will be top 10.
Yeah, totally. But that's the thing is you have to get a team. Like you cannot do everything by yourself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you'll have to spend the money, spend that time.
And that's kind of okay, dude, because in a way it keeps the industry going. The music industry is more than just the artist who plays. It's the guitar tech. It's the guy who fixes guitars. It's the guy who rents out the space. It's the guy who does this. It's the guy who does art for, you know, album covers. It's the guy who's the photographer, videographer, right? Like, totally. So it's good to use these people because it's what keeps the whole industry going. Like,
exactly.
There's nothing wrong with outsourcing. It's we're all in it together.
Exactly, man. You said it. Like the train doesn't go like we're not going down the road without the car doesn't move without all those parts.
Yeah.
So it's like I could have a great song, but I need someone to do this. I need someone to mix it. I don't know how to do that. I need someone to master it. I need someone to do the album art. I need PR to push it. I need, you know, you have to, if you believe in this is the thing. If you are passionate and you believe in what you are doing, that doesn't matter. You'll do everything. You'll sell shit. Like I do that. I've sold stuff to have like, you know, PR to record a single. I've sold a guitar to do that. Or you know what I mean? Like I'm passionate enough to get it out there and I want people to hear it. So I don't care. I'm like, I'll put it on a credit card. We'll figure out how to pay it. Like, you know, I want this to be heard on a bigger platform instead of me just doing a story saying, hey, I'm dropping this, you know, tomorrow.
Yeah. That's my single.
Yeah. And I see that so much, man. I'm like, oh guys, come on. Like but that's the thing is, I mean, I think you have to reach a point where you are so driven and passionate about your message and your art that you figure out you start to hunt out those avenues that are going to get you to the point of getting to a broader audience. Sure. And so for me, I learned that this past year is like I need to do that. I can't just release a single. There has to be things leading up to it. There has to be pre-release stuff. There has to be post-release stuff. There you have to be, you know, working towards something. So this single, even though it went really well, there's another single coming out too, and then there's the big, you know, the big EP with all the songs, and that's the reason those singles were you're
breadcrumbing it. Yeah, exactly.
Right, exactly. And so that's how things need to be approached. That's marketing. That's PR. Like you need those people. That's my advice. if you want it to get heard, I mean, if you just want to release music, I mean, that's cool too. I'm not going to hate on that. If you're just like, I just want to release stuff and put it, but then again, like, why are you releasing it on iTunes and Spotify and all this stuff if you're not really wanting it to get heard?
Yeah, that's a good
You know,
point. That's a great point.
yeah, spend the
That's a great point.
time, spend the money. Like, yeah,
I write a lot of songs, but nobody ever hears them. Like I just play them for myself here at my house. I have recorded a lot in the past, but those days are way beyond me. So now I still play music. I mean, I still pick up my guitar and play, but again, it's just for me, literally for
right.
me, and me alone, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
It's the reason I pick it up. Like I need to pass a couple hours or I'm feeling a certain way, give me that guitar, boom. And then it's out of my system. And that's
cool.
what the guitar is for me now. That's what I
Right.
use that tool for now, you know?
Yeah, man, and that's great. And like, some people, they need that, and that's almost like the thing, like you said, you need to get that out. And it's like
Yeah. I feel good. I'm playing guitar and then I immediately feel I don't want to do it anymore. I mean, it goes from I'm in,
yeah,
done. I mean, it's so quick. Yeah, I'm done.
right,
Like, and have played a couple hours and then it's just an instant I'm finished with it. But the same instant that I feel like doing it, I do it. I just
right.
pick it up and walk around with it and play. And when I'm done with it, I'm done with it. It's a selfish reason. I don't play for anybody. I don't put on shows. Don't ask if I'm at your fucking house. Don't hand me a fucking guitar and ask me to play a fucking song because it's not gonna
Oh
fucking
man,
happen. Like, don't fucking do that shit to me. I can't stand that. I don't want to see that guy whip
here, can
out the guitar and
you play
play.
Free Bird for me?
Yeah, exactly. Can you play Brown Eyed Girl? You're like,
Yeah,
God damn it. Like, shit. It's like, dude, nobody wants to hear that right now. Now, if everyone's like, yeah, bring out your guitar, play a song, then maybe that's different if you got your own originals. And I'm sure you have done that occasionally. You have to feel the moment, right? You gotta feel the moment. It happens, then you do it. It's nothing like getting that pressure from some randos like, play a song.
I don't ever do it. Like, yeah, if I'm at a party or an event, or
You're like, I
my,
get
my
paid for this
cousin
shit now.
my
So
cousin's birthday party, and they're
yeah.
like, "Oh, Joe's here. Hey, I got this guitar. It's first act at
Totally,
Walmart.
dude.
Like, can you pick it up
Totally.
and play it? Play a few stop, play Happy Birthday." I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
People always ask me to cook, dude. So I get it. People always ask me to cook and take care of shit, So as far as that goes, which most of the time, to be frank with you, I don't mind
Yeah,
anymore because now, I had a food truck in Austin for a long time. So I ran that here for 5 years. So during those times, there's no way in hell I would have cooked for you. I would have told you
right.
to fuck off, come to my food truck and spend money, and then you can get my food. But, I didn't feel like it because I did it all the time. But
Yeah,
now I'm on the other, I'm on the other side of the industry now. So now I look in at the restaurant industry. So now I'm back to loving cooking, to be honest with you. I'm back to, yeah,
that's
no
cool.
problem. It's just because you're cooking for a few people instead of, 500 people.
Right.
It sort of takes it's kind of got to be like a musician playing in a cover band night after night at some place and just kind of maybe feeling like they're losing their soul because all they really want to do is play with their real band, and their real shit. It's probably the same feeling.
Yeah, I would totally feel that, man. Been fortunate enough to just play in original bands, and then now just do my original like solo stuff. Of course, with some covers here and there, but the covers always sound like me doing the covers,
Yeah.
instead of like a cover band. Like I do, like "Don't Let Me Down."
Oh fuck.
Said, "Don't let me down," and I do it like that instead of the Beatles version. Um,
Dude,
but like
that's good.
that's how I take like all of my, when I bring a cover, I have to really love the cover. I have to make it into my own.
Those are the
Um,
best covers that I love, though, are when an artist takes a song and makes it their own, and it's got their twist to the cover. Because sometimes I might even like your cover more than the original.
yeah, dude, I feel that same way. Like I feel like Joe Cocker
Yeah,
when he did like some songs, or some of those old songs like "Cry Me a River." Like I don't want to listen to the original version because he did them like
Yeah, he
did them
crushed it.
so much better than So and
Yeah.
like there are people like that where you're like, man, I don't even want to listen to the original. It's kind of like with some of the Bob Dylan tunes. You know, like you hear some of these people cover his songs. Because I know
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good
Susan
point.
Tedeschi does that. What is that? There ain't no use sit and wonder why, babe. If you don't know by now, there ain't no use sit and wonder why, babe. Because it doesn't matter anyhow. And she does that one.
Yeah,
And like,
that's
if you
awesome.
heard Bob Dylan sing it, which I love Bob Dylan, but he's like, ain't no use sit and wonder why, babe.
Yeah.
You don't know by now, you know, which I love that too.
Sure,
but like,
sure.
You hear those like those
Just different, right? Just a
yeah,
different. It's a
interpretations of their like of how they felt when how they feel in the song is like is the coolest thing, and sometimes it comes across a little better than the original version.
There's even you know, so my mom is from Mexico City, so I grew up speaking two languages in my household, and
Cool.
so we would hear a lot of Spanish music, but also we would hear a lot of music that was American music, but translated into Spanish, so that, you know, a Mexican band would take an American song and do their version of it, dude. And there are so many great songs that I love the Mexican Spanish version more than the original. It just something about, like, Hotel California is a great instant. Now, I love the original Hotel California by the Eagles, but the Gypsy Kings have a version that is famously in The Big Lebowski. That song is amazing, and I love it way more than the original. You know, it's just, there's some songs like that. You know, I love when another culture takes the song and just fucking, you know,
I love that type of stuff, man. Like, I just love hearing their version, like their take. Like I said, how they are interpreting the lyrics and the feeling and like what they're getting out of it. And when they express that, it's a whole different thing. And sometimes you're just like, man, that's like I can listen to that version. Like I can relate with that one. You know, that's how I feel with like the Joe Cocker versions of some of those songs. I'm like, God, I could never sit down and listen to the original because of that. You know, because he just slayed it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like that's music. What did B.B. King famously say? Right, everything is lost, borrowed, or something. Or I don't know what was it. I don't remember his something like that.
But he's absolutely right. Like we're basically just taking from each other.
Yeah, it's everything's stolen or borrowed or something like that. Like everything musically.
It's true.
Yeah, I mean there are finite. You know, a guitar is finite, right? There's finite notes. Can they be arranged infinitely? I don't know. I'm not a fucking scientist. I don't know math very well. But you know, you know, I mean, if you learn to play guitar for a little bit, you realize that a lot of songs use a lot of the same chords, and you can play. There are a few chord progressions where you can literally play 1,000 songs with that same chord progression. You know,
totally true, man.
And cover bands do that famously. They'll just roll in from one song to the next. You know, they'll play parts of a bunch of songs because they're showing you it's the same beat, same chords.
Yeah, like a medley
we can just put it all together. So and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's just, there's only a certain amount of colors, and look at artists, right? With how they put it together. So to me, that doesn't bother me.
No,
to be honest with you, because a song is more than a chord, is more than its chord progression. You know, a song is more than that. So, you know, speaking of songs, dude, I know you got your guitar there. Not to put you on the spot, but we would love to hear something, man. I mean, everything you've sort of teased us with sounds amazing. Cool. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think?
I'll leave y'all with the new single, "Love Right Now."
Fuck yes, that's what I'm talking about.
That is out on iTunes and Spotify now. We hit the top 10 in the blues charts, so I think we're out of it now, but that's okay.
It was there, and you have proof of it, right? Yeah,
exactly. I took like a screenshot right away. It was there for like 2 seconds. But I
That's
mean,
awesome.
yeah, I would love to for everyone to just go download that song, stream it, and just listen to the lyrics and let it soothe you during this time. I mean, actually during this time, and just let the words kind of relax and heal you and help you to understand that we do need love, like now and during this
Yeah.
time, especially. Like, show your love, show that love to people. I see a lot of people online saying they're going to drop off groceries to people that lost their jobs. Like, this
Yeah.
is perfect. Like,
Yeah.
love needs to be shown right now,
Yeah.
definitely. So yeah, this is the new single, Love Right Now. It goes like this.
Hell yeah.
You're feeling like bad days are falling from the ceiling. The pain inside your mind is never healing. Said, baby, I'll be right by your side. Ooh, I see you. I said, love is not a thing. I will show you. Don't you wait until there's nothing to hold on to, babe. Remember what you said that night. Yeah, yeah. Said we won't need any love when we're gone. Keep struck my heart with your song. 'Cause life doesn't last very long. We won't need love, we're gone. So love right now. Say love right now. September, it changed our life, but it was for the better. We're stronger now, more power, babe. Remember what we said that night. Oh, that night, babe. Said we won't need any love when we're gone. Keep my heart with your song. 'Cause life doesn't last very long. Yeah, we won't need love when we're gone. So love right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Won't need any love when we're gone. Keep strumming my heart with your song. 'Cause life doesn't last very long. We won't need love when we're gone. Won't need love when we're gone, yeah. Keep strumming my heart with your song. Yeah, baby, life doesn't last very long. Well, we won't need any love when we're gone. Yeah, we won't need any love when we're gone. Yeah, we won't need any love when we're gone. So love right now.
Oh my God, dude. Jesus Christ. So good,
Thanks, man.
dog. That song is
Thank you.
just so good. I'm guessing maybe the first thing, was it the verse was that the first thing you came up with when or was it that melody? Well, I'm curious, just writing that.
Yeah. So the verse wasn't the first thing. The I think the melody for the verse, yeah, it was, but
You were just like, nah, nah, nah. And you were like,
yeah, the
oh, there's
chorus
something
was
here.
right. The chorus was the words that were there before the entire song, before the melody and the chords and everything.
Yeah.
It was that saying, we won't need any love when we're
When
gone,
we're
so
gone.
love right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Got it.
And that was like super impactful. Like I said, my wife was the one that she was like, I want you to show your love today, right now.
Yeah.
Don't wait until I'm gone to start showing your emotions coming out when I can't be there to receive them.
Yeah.
And they're not going to matter then. I mean, maybe they'll matter to you, but to me, they're
Pointless.
it won't matter.
Yeah,
So I'm not there.
absolutely.
And so
Yeah.
it's like such a true statement. And so yeah, the chorus, the lyrics and the chorus, but verse was the thing that came first. It was the guitar part of the.
Yeah, I could just totally see you, right? You know, just like, oh wait, oh wait a second, there's
Yeah,
some here.
and then I
Yeah,
started like riffing with
yeah.
melodies, and the verse came, and
You're
it
like
all started.
September. Oh, okay, okay. What right?
Okay,
Better. Okay, okay. I got it.
better
Yeah, yeah,
September,
yeah.
right? Yeah, yeah,
I know what it's like. Like, and I
yeah.
love those moments when you're songwriting where you're just like, oh shit. Okay. Let me build on this.
This A
Oh.
funny
You
thing
know.
about this song is we had we had all of the songs for uh, the EP, and this wasn't on it. And
Oh
so
wow.
yeah, and so I was, and I have a habit of doing this because I write songs, you know, and I was just like, I was writing more songs, which you shouldn't do while you're recording. Like you have your songs for your
Sure.
record, and you're like, these are
Yeah.
the songs, and you're like, oh shit, I have this song, it works so much better than that song.
Because
But
you're always most excited about what you're currently writing, and you start to think the stuff you wrote before isn't as good, when in reality that's not the case at all.
that's what happened with with that's what happened with this one. Was like I I started writing this, and there was a song we were going to put on it. I forget what it was called. I just have it in the archives, but like this was just so much better than
I'm
that
so
song.
glad you decided to put it on, dude, because it is really just a great fucking tune, dude. Like, not to blow smoke up your ass, like it is just a
Thank you, man.
really just a great written tune. I mean, it's just that simple. Great melody, great hook, flows together well. The production sounds amazing. Your voice sounds fucking killer. Like, it's got a great message. It checks every fucking box for a fucking great song, like that you could possibly want. I mean, that's the truth.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
man.
it's
I appreciate it.
repeatable. You can put it on repeat. Like, you can just hear it over and over again. Like, that's a big thing to me with a good song. I'll listen to it. You know, people are going to tire that song out. I mean, that's what's going to happen. They're just going
I
to be
hope
like,
so, man, because I
you
want
know.
that message to be, hey, my dog came out. Knocked everything over.
My dogs do that shit too. That's why I closed the door. They're out here whining, and I'm like, no,
Hold on.
motherfuckers, y'all will
You
ruin
can
my
say hi.
shit.
Come here.
Yeah.
Can you this? Okay, let's say hi to the dog. He's a star of the show.
Oh,
Come here. Come here.
oh, little puppy. I love it.
Oh,
My kids are my dogs.
oh,
Oh, hey, little puppy. Oh, good
say
boy.
hi.
Good boy.
Oh, okay. That's the beauty
Beautiful.
about being at home and doing interviews at home.
Dude, absolutely. Are you kidding me? But those are the real moments that we want to see, you know.
Right, exactly.
We
The ones
don't.
we couldn't see with Led Zeppelin and the
Yeah.
Beatles.
That's so true. You know, that's a great point. You made that at the beginning of the podcast. I'm not going to let that go. Like, it really is a great point. I never
Yeah,
really thought about that.
I know. Is that crazy, man?
It is a funny thing. Like, I wonder what the Beatles would think of, like, if they were to pop right now into, you know, time machine, and they'd walk out and be like, who the Takashi 69? What the fuck is going on right now? You know,
I
they
know
just
John. I know John have a lot to say.
right, just be like,
Yeah.
what the hell is happening? You know.
I know, man.
Well, look, man. You know, thank you so much for taking the time today, Joe, to just, you know, open up with us, man, and be vulnerable, and, you know, talk to us about, you know, the journey that you've had, and, you know, some of the stuff you've been through. And you know, I for one am a new fan, and I know a lot of people listening to this are going to be new fans of yours, and current fans. You know, that you know, maybe they'll learn something about you that they didn't know before. That's usually what I try to do with when somebody comes on. If they do already have fans, maybe they'll learn something new about you that they didn't know. So yeah, man, I just really appreciate you taking the time. I know it's difficult right now through everything
Yeah.
that's going on. So
Yeah, Patrick, man, thank you for having me. I mean, this is great. I had fun. I mean, it's weird that this is our life right now and everything. So I'd rather, you know, be in
of
what you
course,
do a
dude.
podcast. But I mean, it's almost like I'm meeting so many new people because of this as
Yeah,
well. So it's great, man. I mean, thank you for having me on. This is
absolutely, dude.
cool.